So this is good. Let's keep talking about Bane.
Because he's a great character.
He's a great character.
And I understand if you were trying to grapple out of there. You can't grapple out of there. There's spikes everywhere.
No.
Okay.
This is going really poorly.
I'm pressing the wrong buttons.
Yeah, like he's such a great character. He's like a perfect Batman villain, which is why he was introduced as the man who broke the bat.
Yeah. There is this comic that I remember. I've lost it now, and I'm trying to get my hands on it again. It's from No Man's Land arc, and it's called Going Downtown, and it was, when I was like a little kid, it was one of my favorite Batman comics, and it was specifically about how, during No Man's Land, it was all the different people had different sections of the city.
Yeah.
And it talked about, like, Bane was actually kind of this semi-righteous figure.
Right.
In this No Man Land's comic, because he was kind of like helping out weaker people that were being taken advantage of by other gangsters. Yeah. And I remember just loving it.
So I think you've read the Nightfall arc more than I have. I think Bane in general can be seen as, out of all the Batman villains, like probably the most moral. Yeah.
Well, because Bane, and even if you were reading Batman and Robin Eternal, even in that, the whole thing about Bane is that, and that's why it made so much sense for Nolan to put him in the League of Shadows. And that wasn't Nolan original. Like, there is, and I think Denny O'Neil did something where Bane joined the League of Shadows. But it just makes sense because he is Batman. He just isn't doing what Batman's doing.
Yeah.
He's not trying to save Gotham City. He's trying to do other things. Yeah. And the reason he hates Batman is because he thinks that, at least in the Nightfall arc, the whole point is that he's trying to prove himself as the most like powerful man on the planet. And that's intellectually and physically. And so he just views Batman as the symbol of, like, if I can beat him, then everyone will respect me. All the gangsters, all the crime syndicates, all around the world will respect me and understand that, like, I am to be respected.
Now, does he want to, like, take out those crime syndicates, or does he want to?
I think if I remember correctly, I think he wants to be in control of them, but not because he's like, I want money or whatever. It's a power thing.
Yeah, because he comes from this. He comes from this impoverished
Mm-hmm.
position. He comes from like this third world country.
Yeah.
And he wants to just rise up and
Woo.
there's probably a lot of interesting things to be said about like the politics of Bane as a character and making him a villain.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I love two best moments.
It does. I did talk about how. I mean, I haven't talked on this, but I've said before how I think the Nolan movies whitewash the Batman villains, mostly with Ra's al Ghul and also with Bane, making him Eastern European instead of Latino.
That kind of makes sense. The only reason I would say is because in the comic book, Bane is like blonde. Bane is like very white and very blonde in the comic.
Well, yeah,
book.
but
and. But I get that.
You dived right at him. You dived right into those.
Bane almost deserves to
muscles. Yeah, I'm taking Bane's side on this fight.
Yeah,
I agree with you though that I think that it presented an opportunity, because that's the other thing is that Bane is from a country that was under Spanish colonial occupation, and Bane I think was supposed to be of Spanish descent. I don't think he was a native.
Okay.
And so I think that's kind of the whole like thing is that Bane. But I agree that like if you have that opportunity present, I mean that's the frustrating thing is that like in Hollywood you would think they would just be looking for opportunities.
Yeah, and
to say, like, we could make Bane.
And it's not like the character that they created with Tom Hardy wasn't like an underprivileged. Like you can definitely, especially if you're using the politics of modern day global politics, like you could certainly have an Eastern European who came from like the same kind of circumstances that Bane came from in the comics. So I don't think it's terrible casting, and none of it's terrible casting. Like of course Liam Neeson is great, but like Well, I agree. I mean that is with Liam Neeson, it definitely is whitewashing, but it's like it makes perfect sense because he makes him a British imperialist who joins a mercenary. Yeah. Like, but that's also because it's like in the Nolan verse, Ra's al Ghul also doesn't have the Lazarus Pit. Like it's not as mythical and as mystical. And he also creates Ra's al Ghul as a identity that multiple people take on, and so of course like it probably has Middle Eastern origins.
Yeah. Well, that actually is a very confusing thing about the Nolan verse because Ra's al Ghul is I believe it's Arabic for head of the demon.
Yeah.
But when Batman finds him, he's in it looks like some sort of
Tibet.
Yeah, like Asian country. And the man who is in the role of Ra's al Ghul, who's acting as like the front man kind of thing, is, I mean, it's Ken Watanabe, who I think is Japanese.
Yeah. Well,
and so it is kind of like a weird.
It's because
like,
Nolan just has like the Nolan players.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's like, you know,
yeah,
went with the Asian one,
right?
For that part,
right. Well, and he's very, and this is a critique that I think is actually a good critique of Nolan movies, which Interstellar actually avoids, and that is that Nolan, because he takes a lot of his cues from James Bond, a lot of his villains are just foreigners. It's like, if a foreigner shows up, you're like, it's the bad guy, you know, because that's kind of...
I'll take these guys out before they're just chasing.
It's okay.
I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna run over here. Oh, you can't catch me. I'm gonna run over here. Oh, I'm gonna run. Oh, gotcha. Wait, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Good on the technique.
But that's a good thing. You gotta get Bane and the guys in your line of sight.
See, this is what I mean. If this were really Bane, like he'd be strategizing right now. He wouldn't
Instead
just be
of
like
charging around,
accidentally running into.
But
these other
whatever's
people.
pumping through him is making him less rational. That's what I was trying to say about like, don't be so quick to judge this incarnation of Bane, because they do a good job of in universe telling why he's acting out this way.
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to be like Bane and Batman have a history and they have kind of an understanding, and so Batman is actually wouldn't expect Bane to act this way at this point.
So
but he also doesn't trust him completely. But
one of the things I was going to say is that my two favorite Nolan-verse Batman moments, because I also have like favorite Batman moments, obviously from the other movies, but my absolute two favorite Nolan-verse Batman moments, not just like my favorite moments in the movie, but the moments that I'm just like, these are so Batman I can hardly stand it when I'm watching them, are in the first one in the warehouse.
Yeah.
When Batman is taking down those guys, because that, I mean, we'd never seen that before.
Hey, he did it!
Hey!
Oh. No, not Bane.
But it's that one and begins, and then when Bane breaks his back and rises.
Oh.
That scene is so perfect.
Battle, yeah.
It's just so... And that's the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't know how you can be a Batman fan and really hate this movie. I can see how you could be like, oh, I have problems with it, but just the Bane versus Batman scene is just so...
Check this out. You wanted to see the Batmobile.
Oh, good. I love the Batmobile. I'm reading Prey right now, which is a Doug Moench, or how you pronounce his last name, story. And it's supposed to be like in the year one continuity. And part of the story is
here he comes.
Is Batman constructing the Batmobile, and I'm really excited about it.
That's cool.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna break his back.
Then the Bruja! No, Bane. This time I break you.
There we go.
Batmobile.
There's the Batmobile.
There it goes.
That was... First of all, that would kill him. Second of all,
Bane
that's
is
a... The Batmobile is now gone. Like,
How's he gonna get off?
That just seemed like a bad strategy.
Well, obviously something is going down. Batman might not intend to leave. He just ditched his exit strategy because he's got to lock this island down. I mean, maybe that was it. He doesn't want anyone else stealing the Batmobile and taking off and getting off the island.
Or he just had an irrational thought, and
or it was the only way to stop Bane.
Or he'd been holding that quip in his head for the whole fight, and
because this is the guy that broke me. I gotta. No, he's been holding it in ever since Bane broke his back the first time. He's like, when I get him, I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna break him.
Yeah.
He built the Batcave on Arkham Island.
Yeah, Batman's insane.
So in Prey, one of the funny things is that like literally part of the story is Bruce Wayne constructing the Batmobile. So there's like all these actual like full panels.
Oh, see, here we go.
What's this?
They were talking about how Bane is more powerful than usual. Oracle said that this particular strand of venom turned Bane into an animal. So next time on GameForBrains, we'll find out what that's all about. Maybe.
GameForBrains.
it's literally about he's like building a Batmobile, so they're like entire panels where it's just Bruce Wayne walking places in the Batsuit and him mumbling like, "I gotta freaking finish this car." like there's one where he has to walk home after he's like fought people and he's like walking home and like
all the way to Wayne Manor.
Yeah, cutting through like and it's like he has to like sneak in through the back